Hello, I'm Ghost Hunter Joe, and this week's story takes place in Shelby, Ohio, the proud birthplace of the seamless tube industry. Several decades ago, the city of Shelby erected signs similar to this one at each of the entrances to the city. I took this photograph of the sign in front of the steel mill in February of 2025. I found this picture of the Shelby Steel Tube Company on the internet. It was built in 1890 and was purchased by U.S. Steel in 1901. On June 18, 1908, the mill was burnt to the ground in a little over an hour during a devastating fire which caused over $1 million in damages. The fire was discovered in the shipping room by a night watchman. The cause of the fire was never determined. The Shelby, Mansfield, Galleon, and Crestline fire departments responded to the fire. Though the mill employed over 800 employees and operated 24 hours a day, for unknown reasons, the employees were laid off at the time of the fire. I was unable to learn how many, if any, died during this fire. Within days of the fire, rumors spread that the plant would not be rebuilt in Shelby. A petition signed by 3,000 merchants, employees, citizens, and manufacturers was sent to the U.S. Steel corporate offices, stating that if it was not rebuilt in Shelby, the original stockholders would rebuild it as an independent plant. Just 1 week after the fire, U.S. Steel announced that due to reduced demand for steel tubing, they would not rebuild the plant. The people of Shelby raised enough money to rebuild, and the plant was back in operation in less than a year under local ownership. This is me, Ghost Hunter Joe, at the Shelby Steel Mill, which was and remains owned by ArcelorMittal. I supplemented my regular income by working a second job as a security guard at the steel mill from 2013 to 2015. During my time at the steel mill, I experienced things I could not explain. But before I get into those, let's look at some more photographs of the 1908 fire that I found on the internet. When I worked at ArcelorMittal, it operated 3 shifts per day, 7 days a week. It was a very busy and loud operation. During major holidays such as the 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, it was shut down. During these shutdowns, it was very strange walking through the quiet plant. I spent a lot of time walking through the empty mill and looking at the original brick foundations from which the plant had burnt down and been rebuilt. On numerous occasions, while walking through the quiet mill, I heard the sound of people talking from a distance. As I would go to investigate, I could never get close enough to hear what was being said, as the talking went away as I would get closer to it. I also heard the distinct sound of someone whistling on several occasions. I've worked in the security field for over 40 years, and it was not the common sound of wind blowing through an empty building or stairwell. It was melodic, though not a melody that I recognized. So, is the steel mill in Shelby, Ohio haunted? And if so, by who? Since we do not know for sure if anyone actually died there. I cannot say with absolute certainty that it is, but I'm leaning towards yes. And this is Ghost Hunter Joe saying goodbye and see you next time.